Today we're going to go over how is it that we can simplify radicals, which is this roots right here, by hand without the help of a calculator. So we have a couple of examples right here. And one of the things that is very important for us to understand is that the way we're going to do this is by doing factor trees. A factor tree is when we take the number that we currently have, in this case 2, and make a tree of factors. Two numbers that multiply 2, the only one that I know, it's 2 times 1. And that is actually the rule of our factor tree. We cannot use the number 1. So in this case, since there's nothing we can do, the answer of this, that means that we cannot simplify, it's already simplified. This will be square root of 2. Now let's look at a different example. Here we have the number 900. So we're going to do a factor tree for 900. Here I know that when I ask two numbers to multiply give me 900, there's a lot of different options. So we can start with a simple one as 9 times 100. And then we can say, oh, two numbers that multiply give me 9, 3 times 3. And here we're going to stop because if I try to find two numbers that give me 3, I'm not going to be able to avoid the 1. Only 3 times 1 gives me 3. So that means that we're done as far as here. So we're going to continue on the side of the 100. Two numbers that multiply give me 100. We can go as easy as 10 times 10. Two numbers that multiply give me 10, 5 times 2. And if I try to find two numbers that give me 5, I'm not going to be able to avoid the 1 because it's a prime number. Either same thing with the 2. And here again I have a 10, so that'll be 5 times 2. By the time that we finish, we already made a list of our factors. 2, 2, 3, 3, and 5. So that means that now our square root is going to be 2 times 2, because I have two number 2's, times 3 times 3, times 5, times 5. Okay, and here's where our method is really going to start, because the way that we simplify this is by doing doubles. Since this is a square root, we said every 2 come out as 1. Example, every 2 are allowed to come out as 1, number 2. Every pair of 3's, they're allowed to come out as 1, number 3. And every 5, it's allowed, 2 5's are allowed to come out as 1 5. And when you have all these numbers outside, they're going to multiply. Since I have nothing left inside of my root, I don't have to write my root because it'll be empty, which in this case tells me that my answer, it'll be 2 times 3, 6, times 5, 30. So the square root of 900 is 30. So let's do another example right here. We have the number 600. So we're going to do 600. Two numbers that multiply give me 600. You can leave it simple as 60 times 10. Two numbers that multiply give me 60. 6 times 10. Two numbers that multiply give me 6. 3 times 2. Two numbers that multiply give me 10. 5 times 2. Then I have another 10. 5 times 2. So when I do my root, what is it that I have in here? 1, 2, 3 number 2's. This is going to be a good example for us to see what's going to happen with the leftovers. And then we have a number 3, so I put a 3. And then I have two number 5's. Okay? And we're going to use our same rule. Every 2 come out as 1. Okay? Now here I have another number 2, but it doesn't have a pair. So it's going to stay inside. Same thing with the 3, because it doesn't have a pair. But then the 5 will come out. And those will multiply each other. So what I have left inside of my root is going to be a 2 times 3. So what's going to be my final answer? 2 times 5, 10. Then we have our root. 2 times 3, 6. So my final answer here, or the most simplified way of saying square root of 600 is 10 square root of 6. Now I want to do these examples with you where we have a number outside and a number in the root. We're going to focus strictly on the number inside the root. So now here's where it's really helpful for us to know our roots. The square root of 25 is 5. And I previously had a 6 outside of the root, so there's a 6 outside that will multiply. Okay? So here I didn't do the 3 because I already know that the square root of 25 is 5. So what's my final answer here? That'll be 6 that was outside times the 5, which is the square root of 25. So the answer is 30. 6 times 5. Okay, here we have another example. 3 times the square root of 75. I do not know the square root of 75, so I'm going to do my 3 for that one. Two numbers that multiply give me 75. 25 times 3. Two numbers that multiply give me 25. 5 and 5. And I cannot continue with the 5s or the 3s. So what's going to be my answer? First of all, do not forget, you had a 3 outside of the root. We're going to write a root. And then we have a 3 times 2 5s. Okay. So I'm going to write my 3 that was outside already. And then I have two number 5s, which means they come out as 1. What are they going to do with the 3? Multiply. Okay. And inside of the root, we still have a leftover 3. So my final answer will be 3 times 5, 15 square root of 3. The last example that we're going to do right now, it'll be 5 times the square root of 13. If I don't know what the square root of 13 is, so if I try to do the 3 and say two numbers that multiply give me 13, remember, we should never use a 1. Is there a way for us to avoid the 1? No, 13 is a prime number. Only 13 times 1 equals 13, which means that my final answer is going to be exactly as it is, meaning this is already simplified. There's nothing we can do.